Good morning everyone, welcome to a new Super 69 EV film, and yes, the title is true. I have now sold my Alpina D3 bi-turbo. And to recap why and how and because of things, I just wanted to make a video and tell everything about this car, how I've experienced it, what I've done with it, why I've sold it, just the complete story. And I also want to tell you what my next car will be. So all that is to come in this video, so stay tuned. Well, first, how did it start? Last year, April it was, I got a text message from Steve at Bergwerf, and he asked me, Tom, I found the Alpina D3 bi-turbo in blue, clear glass, flat dash, no sunroof, on 18-inch wheels. Did you order that from you? And I'm like, no I didn't, but I very well could have. What a dream spec to me. Oh, and very important, it has the cloth interior, but with the sport seats. I love it. So he told me the car was bought and it was on the way, and it would take a couple of weeks before it would get at Bergwerf. So in the meantime, I wasn't sure what I wanted in my next car. I drove the Up TSI at the moment, and we just bought a Caravan, and we have the C-Class as well, but that drinks like insanely with the Caravan behind it. So it was, what are we going to do? Diesel was still at 135 a liter in the Netherlands and around 140 in Germany. So I live next to the German border, so if it would go down in Germany, I could pop over the border and fill up over there, or just fill up in the Netherlands at 135 a liter. So the road tax in the Netherlands, the road tax system is insane. For a small diesel car like this, it's not heavy, it's below 1300 kilos, but you pay over 140 euros each month for road tax. So it's very expensive to run, but because of diesel being so cheap and the car being very economical, it still made sense to buy a diesel in 2021. Well, I don't have to tell you what happened afterwards. The whole world got in a bit of a mess, and diesel prices soared to over 15 to 20 a liter at peak. Yeah, it just wasn't fun anymore to drive. In the Netherlands, you get for your employer can give you up to 19 cents a kilometer to drive a car. So the diesel, with the diesel prices as they were and the usage of the car, it was like, yeah, I need those 19 cents in fuel alone. That won't cover depreciation and maintenance on the car. So it made less and less sense to keep the car. Then but I loved it, and I loved it so much, I did almost the same thing as I did with my Honda S2000. I did it again. I knew completely what I was doing, and I don't care, because what I did is I let it depreciate as a rock, because I drove it over 60,000 kilometers in the first year. And yeah, you know, if you buy a car with a relative low kilometer mileage on the odometer, it's going to depreciate if you're going...
Let op, stilstaand voertuig.
Okay, I will do. You know, it's going to depreciate a lot. So yeah, it depreciated pretty good for a car in 1 year, but yeah, I don't mind. I have a lot of good memories with this car. I towed the Caravan with it to Italy 3 times. We did multiple small trips with the family. I drove it with my wife to Valencia for New Year's Eve. We drove back from Valencia in one day. That's still my most insane drive to date. I'm not sure I'm ever going to top it. It was around 1900 kilometers in one day. It was magical. This car is so good. It's so perfect. And even now I sell it. It has 173,000 kilometers on the odometer. Everything is perfect. There's not a thing wrong with the car. It runs perfectly. It's still very quick. It turns it's exquisite. The feeling this car gives you while driving. I think this might be one of the best BMWs driving wise ever. It's underpowered in a lovely manner. It drives even better on the 17-inch winter wheels. I have Fuchs forged wheels for it. They're original BMW wheels, but no one seems to care about 17-inch winter wheels. So those are still very cheap and very good. And the car turns in even better. Of course, the winter tires give it a bit less grip. I have the Michelin Pilot Sport Force on these wheels. Those are perfect as well. The engine in the Alpina D3, it's almost mid-engined. Almost. It's like this in front of the front wheels. This car, are there things I missed on it? Yeah, of course it would have been nice to have some sort of Apple CarPlay arrangement going on, but I really didn't want the bulge on the dashboard. I still don't like it, and the iDrive is now really old and it's functioning not as great anymore. And even though this is the cheapest Alpina you can buy, by far, E46 petrol cars with 200k on the odometer are even more expensive, but it's still such a joy to drive. It's so good, and it still feels really special. You have the Alpina dials, you have the limited edition plate on the ceiling. It's everything, the body kit, the wheels, the way it handles, it's everything makes this car feel perfect and very, very. So I had a great time with this car, even though I only owned it for just a little over a year. It's still one of my favorite cars I've ever driven. I'm pretty sure I will never own a car this pretty again. It's just, to my eyes, this is one of the best looking BMWs ever. I like the E90 LCI sedan. I like it best of all the 3 Series, and especially if you have the flat top dash and clear glass. It's just, to me, it's just a beautiful shape, and I really like looking at it. And it has the small double exhaust, and it's the Alpina lettering on the rear. I really, really like this car. And if the road tax system in the Netherlands wouldn't be as it is today, I probably would have kept it. But it just doesn't make sense to keep a car that costs over 230 euros a month alone in just having it in front of the door. The last months we really used it very rarely. The Mercedes is only at 108,000 on the odometer, and it had really big maintenance 2 years ago. So we did the automatic gearbox and stuff. We did everything so it would be ready for the next 5 years. So it really doesn't make sense to keep it. And I have done a lot with this car. It has given me loads of driving pleasure. I really would have liked to just put it on the Nürburgring once. Just one lap at speed on the Nürburgring. I would have loved that. But yeah, it's not meant to be. Couldn't make it work, and there's just no time. And to be honest, I've driven this on back roads in an antisocial manner enough to have gotten my fix out of it. It's really cool because it's a pretty old school car. It sits at, when you really push it to top speed, it sits at almost at the rev limiter, so almost at 4800 RPM or so. I put Motul Clean X Gen 2 or Gen 3 oil in it, which made a huge difference. The engine runs perfectly on it. It's a top tip for anyone who has an Alpina D3 bi-turbo, 123 diesel or something like that. If I would have kept it, what I would really have liked to do is put the ZF 8-speed from the BMW X123D in it. That I think that would make it a proper hot rod, because it would get even quicker than with the manual transmission. The manual is sublime, by the way. It shifts really nicely. Even towing the caravan was never a problem. So yeah, just a perfect car. Perfect car. The bi-turbo engine is a gem. It's one of the nicest diesel engines I've ever driven. Of course, a 6-cylinder engine sounds better and has even smoother torque delivery, but this makes 200 horsepower over 2000 RPM in rev range. It's really impressive, and yeah, it's just nice and good and special. Okay, that's enough about the Alpina. Now on to my next car, because with the Alpina making way, now I don't want to say I got space to buy another car. I really don't. But what I can do is I can now look for another car, because I can't sell one before I buy another one. I can't sell the E-Up before I buy my next car and have taken delivery of it, because I wouldn't. If I do that, I might end up without a car, and my wife and I, we both need cars. So I hope we'll be back to 3 cars very quickly, and yeah, I don't have to beat around the bush anymore. I've set my eyes on a BMW i3S, and nothing else will do. So it's going to be a BMW i3S. Specs have to be determined. The car has to be, I still have to buy a car, find a car, and make a deal. So we'll see what's next, but I can say it now. The BMW i3S will be my next car. There will be people in the comments declaring me fully insane for selling an Alpina D3 bi-turbo and getting into a BMW i3S, but I really enjoy driving electric cars. I really enjoy the BMW iDrive. It's time for change. It's time to stop putting so many euros into road tax each month, and yeah, I just want a BMW i3S and pay less tax. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Please subscribe to the channel, of course. If you want to support it, share it with your friends or family or anyone. I don't care. As long as people watch. Thank you again, and talk to you later. Bye.